All right, Mark, say what you will. Does it hold up 40 years later?
Nope.
I'm going to do this in the form of a sound effect.
Welcome back to the Say What You Will podcast. Thank you again for liking, sharing, commenting. Give some reviews. That will be awesome. Obviously, great reviews would be appreciated. No, but we are here on another Friday night recording, and guess what, people? It's raining, and that's what it does when we... I think it's going to rain, not when I die, as Allison Chain said, but when we record the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark, Dennis, what do you got going on? Dennis is, he may faint here. I think he just did a big workout.
Yeah, with my wife and a trainer. So, yep. No, not a whole lot of, not a lot going on. Appreciate being able to host and you guys taking the trek out here and stuff. And, These albums are going to be a little bit challenging, but I guess we'll get into that in a little bit.
I'll say this: wait to the end because next month's are really good.
Yeah, wow.
And we'll talk about those.
Cool.
Not saying these aren't.
Huh?
I'm not saying they're not good. It's just tough.
Right.
This doesn't constitute news. We're not there yet, but I just a quick update. I started reading Jack Russell's book.
Oh yeah.
And it's good.
Nice.
It's really, really good.
Oh, he's a real deal.
Oh, he is something. And you know, people listen to this cast. I mean, definitely check it out. It got released, I don't know, a few weeks ago or a month ago, and you know, I not to spoil the book, but one of the things that I pulled from it, I had no idea he was tight with like the Sunset Strip guys. Like he partied with Piercy.
Oh, yeah.
He was really.
Yeah, he was part of that.
One of his best friends is Don Dokken. He actually he tells his story about you know, obviously the prison stuff and getting out and being a little lost. They had the EP that they just released, and him, Don Dokken owned the duplex. One side it was Don, and the other side was Bobby Blotzer and his wife. And Dawkins like, listen, I only got like 2 bedrooms, and one of them is where, you know, is I use it for my office or whatnot. You're welcome to sleep on the couch, Jack. So that's what he did. He slept on the couch. He lived there for like three or 4 months. And he goes, we'd all get together. It was great. Weekends, party with the Blots, and
that's great.
They barbecue outside and stuff. And I'm like, wow, you know, just to bring that whole world together like that, you know.
Yeah, they had a camaraderie, all those guys. Even Motley Crue was friends with guys in Rat, and even Piercy was friends with Eddie.
Right.
And he used to loan Eddie his equipment back in the club days. That's stuff you never knew. You know, when we were, you know, these bands are coming up in the Strip. I mean, who would have thought that Eddie and Piercy were friends?
Right.
You know what I mean? You just didn't know that. But you find out all these guys had a bond.
Yeah, he said that he made a comment in there about, like, just saying, look, I was never, like big into the hair and everything else. It was just not my vibe, but I respected the guys that did because they were good musicians. Yeah. Some of them, you know. Well, and I think it's just not our style.
Where once Bitten came out, they did have a pretty good image.
Yeah.
Long-haired rock.
Yeah.
But you almost had to.
Right.
In those days. You know what I mean? If you come out, there were a couple guys that could get away with it, like the drummer from Extreme.
Right.
Never had long hair.
Right.
Alex Van Halen.
Yeah.
You know, never really. But you never saw a whole band of short.
Yeah. When did Alex get rid of the afro?
He had bad hair. I
Yeah.
think he cut.
Let's be honest.
I think he cut it Van Halen too.
Oh, really?
And then he kind of had it longer for 84.
Yeah.
And then he cut it short again for 5150. And
For leading up to one, that thing was just like a wild Samoan.
yeah. He didn't have like Eddie had cool hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he kept it long most of his career until obviously the 90s. But
Yeah.
even Dave had great hair back in the early days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Mike had
And it
short
was
hair. I
important.
guess.
As cheesy as it sounds, image was important in the 80s.
And it all, well, in the
You
lot.
wouldn't get a gig. If you came down to rehearse, try out for a band,
Yeah.
and you didn't look the part, you wouldn't even get it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even let you in the door.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you weren't against the norm enough, right? So like coming out of the 60s, flower in your hair
Yeah, you
and
didn't
long
look
hair.
rebellious enough.
Right.
If
You
had
didn't.
your hair, if you had your hair cut short,
If you
it was
showed up-
like you were giving into the status quo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, the one last point here from that so far is can't believe how tight the Kendall and Russell were. They were like brothers. And
What
he still well, that's what I can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
Because even in the book, I mean it's like a love fest like Geddy Lee and Lifeson. It's that tight. They were just
Oh,
really
they were there together from day one, right?
Oh, very tight, and he has all good. He's like, Mark's a great rhythm guitar player, awesome riffs and all that. So I can't wait, to your point, to see what the hell happened, because they didn't even speak towards the end.
I bet drugs has something to do with it, you know?
Yeah, and you're finding out that I always saw Russell was just a big drinker, occasional coke and stuff, but the prison days were tough. He went to prison because of drugs, freaking out of his mind.
We had the story. Shot the maid or something through the door.
Yeah, because they were trying to rob,
Well,
Imagine doing that and being so caught up in that and going to prison and then getting out and become a famous rock star.
I know.
Yeah, well,
Amazing.
that's the story. Actually.
Well, that's like the artist today.
Well, those you guys expect rap
Yeah.
because that's part of the culture.
Yeah.
But rock and roll, I mean,
yeah, that's his story though. That turnaround. But I tell you, Don Dawkins had a lot to do with it, and he says that. And he said that they were at a bar one time, and it was like four guys. I think Blotzer was there, Crosby, and he goes, one of the guys. It was one of the assistant managers. Was Don got up and he was talking with some women, or he was on the other side of the club, and the guy started like trashing Don Dawkins, like just going, that guy sucks as a singer and he's a phony and all that. And Russell just, he's like, hey, you got a man I want to talk to you outside. Went outside, beat the shit out of him, because he was covering his buddy. You know what I mean? And then,
Derek did that for me one time.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
It was Hilliker, but
he said Lynch and Pilsen contacted him after Dawkins' first album and asked him if he'd consider joining joining with them and writing material and getting rid of Don. So that's how bad that
I probably
Dawkins.
would have liked it more.
That would have been great.
That
yeah.
Dawkins problem was like the infighting with Dawkins was like way before. I mean,
It happened before their EP that they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Russell was like, George Lynch is on the phone and with Pilsen in the background going, "Hey Jack, we love your voice, and we write the riffs. Let's get together, form a band, and you'll be our new lead singer." And then Jack Russell was like, "Hey guys, don't you know that Don's a good friend of mine? I'm living in his condo. And guess what? I'm fucking telling him what you just told me."
Oh.
Yeah. And they were like, he said silence, and then they hung up. And he went to Dawkins and he told him, he's like, "Hey, these guys approached me," and Dawkins like lost his shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Well, granted, I'd rather have Russell.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You got to read the book, though.
Yeah.
Or listen to the book.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I wonder if the audio was him. You know,
I saw
because
it
it was
was
post-
coming out.
I just finished an audiobook. I was going to talk about it in the news, but yeah.
You know who's got a book out? And for the life of me, I can't even figure out why. The guitar player from Autograph.
Who is that?
Steve Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
What's he got to talk about?
I don't know.
Well, they opened for Van Halen.
That's
so
probably
maybe
the whole book.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's a couple
Can you
pages
stretch
of
that
that.
into like 150, 200 pages? And what else are you going to talk about?
Right.
Right. All right, well, let's jump in with some news.
Sure.
Who wants to go first?
I'll take a shot at it. One of the things I just found out was Scott Gorham. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
He's 74 years old. He said that like 6 or 8 months ago, he had a kidney procedure that was supposed to be fairly routine, and he almost died.
Whoa.
Yeah, like when you get these like 90% success rate.
Yeah.
He was like borderline
The
the
10%.
10%.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's appreciating life now and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, anything?
I got a couple few things here. Kelly Hansen left Foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard that. He's been in there
Well,
for a long time.
left foreigner that was already a no foreigner.
Well, yeah. I don't even know if Mick
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
Mick Jones has been in and out of it.
Yeah.
But for the majority of that band, there's no
Right.
original guys left.
For like
No.
20 years.
They're just a cover band.
Mick
Yeah.
Jones has health problems too. I mean, what's he? He's got to be late 70s, 80.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
up there. So, I don't know. I guess I got another guy lined up. I thought he said it might have said the keyboard player or something is stepping in, but
I mean, doesn't Hanson probably figure like, okay, this foreigner tribute, kind of a tribute situation is getting old. Maybe he wants to like distancing himself from it and create some music and
well, how many times can you keep singing the same old Foreigner songs over
Yeah.
20-year span? There's
Well,
no
it will-
material. Or, I don't know. Is he recorded with them?
I don't
if they've
know.
ever recorded.
Yeah.
But I imagine every night he's singing, it feels like the first time. But
Well, he wants to know what love is. Hey, maybe he's going to put Hurricane back together.
Yeah. Imagine that.
What do you got, Derek? Anything?
so I just finished Brian Wheat's book,
Oh,
Tesla
yeah.
Basis, and I
forgot
was
about that.
forever. I was like, and then it came up on Spotify as a free listen part of the subscription. So I listened to it. Freaking awesome. So
Really?
it's called Son of a Milkman, which he was the son of a milkman. Like his mom was banging the milkman and got pregnant. But I didn't realize the drug problems in that band.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy drug problems.
All of them.
Jeff Keith went to prison for
he did?
for crank. Yeah. He got caught or something and had to go to, I don't know if it was prison. I think he went to jail or whatever. Yeah, he was
That
locked
tells you
up.
how bad Skeel's problem must have been if he was the only guy they singled out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was way into heroin. I don't know if those guys are getting into that. But
They were doing everything. And I had no idea. I was like, I always thought they were just kind of beer drinking.
That's what I
pot
thought.
smoking.
Yeah, but no. And Frank Hannon was 15 when they started the band.
Wow.
15. I think he was
City
19,
kid,
17 when they got signed.
right?
Yep. And Brian Wheat is like best friends with Jimmy Page. Had no
Wow.
idea. Yep.
How the hell they make that happen?
He met him somewhere and they became good friends. They've done tributes together. He played in the Jimmy Page tribute concert that was.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I had no idea.
He's got a new band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Violet.
Violet. Yeah.
He talks about it in the book.
I thought Tommy may have been in that, but he's not in that.
No, Tommy's in that
Bad
marriage from Boston.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
know.
weird.
Well, and we produced it. I
Yeah.
think.
Violent Breed, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Breed. Yeah.
Huh.
Violet.
And then I actually went back and listened to some of the albums because it's really cool as he talks about each album
Wow, nice.
and its recording, how they did it, how they recorded it. So it got me to go back and listen to a few. Had a little different appreciation for some. And then just the whole time I'm listening, I'm like, Jeff has just got one of the most unique freaking voices of all time.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Distinctive.
Yep. And I'm still pissed I didn't get tickets to those 2 sold out shows.
That's coming up.
Yeah, June.
Yeah, I don't have tickets. I'm hoping I can get the box.
You'll get one at the door.
Well, I guess I could do
What's
that.
the box like? Oh, you get like 5, 6 tickets or something?
Oh, no, it's like 10 or 12.
Really?
Lisa's friend has access to it.
Oh, really?
They may not be going to it. We've been up there. We saw that. Yeah.
Saw a couple of bands up there, didn't we?
Yeah. It's kind of, you're off to the side. It's kind of tough.
Tesla.
But once you're in, you can go wherever you want.
Yeah.
So
I thought we did see Tesla up there. And we saw
the Struts.
Someone else, I thought.
Huh. I'm going to see the Struts. They've got Dirty Honey opening for them at the casino.
Wow.
Oh.
That's a good bill.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I missed Dirty Honey when they played Wally's the last time through. I want to see them.
Yeah,
What?
the Struts are on that Mexico festival that's coming.
Oh.
Well, same, Def Leppard, Motley Crue.
Well, Motley's not, I don't think, right?
I thought they're on that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Ma-
the same.
well, they
Poison,
just,
Brett Michaels.
but they just weren't part of the recent show that one in on the sands. Not Trunk was talking about it. It was in Maryland.
Oh,
Ocean
yeah.
No, Ocean Shore, Ocean.
Oh, yeah. The like 60,000 people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the one they were talking about. He was talking about that
Mm.
Motley was supposed to be in. Oh yeah, Motley was supposed to be in it. They canceled, so they got Alice in Chains.
Rob
They had to
Zombie.
cancel because of Sean, and then they got Rob Zombie to
Yeah.
fill in.
Right.
Yeah, right here. Def Leppard and Motley Crue team up for first Rock the Rides Destination Festival in Rock the Tides Festival in Mexico. So
When
they're
is
both
that?
on that? Huh?
When? Because there's been no
where is it? Hold on.
there's been no word of Vince if he's what's going on health wise with him.
November 7th, 8th.
Oh, he
and
make it
9th.
better by then. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Brett Michaels, Extreme, The Struts, Block Cherry, Living Color.
The Struts right now are doing their tour is that one album that's really good. I forget what it's called, but they're just playing that album.
This is a pretty good lineup, I guess. But
Mark's going to Mexico.
go to Mexico. Nah.
Dennis, what do you got? Anything else?
The Triumph Tribute CD, that's June 7th, I think it's being released. Talked about it before, being a little disappointed. I know that it's the same recipe, right? Guest singers to sing the classic.
Yeah.
Do we need that? I know that I guess Sebastian Bach sounds great and all that, but I'd rather hear Rick Emmett singing, even or the guys playing,
Well, the only guy that could kind of fit that would be Geddy Lee.
You're right, but can you honor that band a different way, or it's got to be the same?
Right.
old
Yeah, it's not
thing?
really original.
Yeah.
But
So that's out there if people want to hear that.
what else I got? Foo Fighters threw Josh Freese out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't really speculated on what happened there, but he's a good drummer. I mean, had to be some kind of interpersonal squabble or something, but
Yeah, I don't know.
they haven't really said much about it.
Yeah, what's his name's not having such a great the past 6 months, right?
No.
I mean,
Who,
he goes what?
Grohl?
I
Yeah,
got a
gets
confession to make.
Yeah.
Gets busted with that, right? With
Yeah.
the what, I mean, I think his girlfriend was pregnant or is pregnant or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And then they go and they fire the drummer, and the guy, I guess that guy's going, I had no idea this was coming.
Yeah.
It just makes Grohl's reputation doesn't look too good. And then I heard on Trunk they're going to go back to touring, but they're going to tour in Japan or something like that. The Foo Fighters, they're going to do a quick tour in Japan. And they think they're just, he speculates they're just going to kind of warm up the car, so to speak.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you do it to Japan, the Japanese are probably not going to be all over his ass about this whole
Right.
They don't care about
infidelity.
that
You know what I mean?
Right,
They
right.
just, you know, so before they come back to the United States, where people are holding up signs or
Yeah, it'd
he's
be
getting-
interesting to see see like Bruce Springsteen just pretty much buried his career with statements.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Well, I don't know if they did because I think his
Well, he
fans are
wouldn't
loyal.
say that here. He goes over to Europe and bags on the United States.
Yeah.
Pack your shit and get out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't like it? Leave.
Yeah.
And don't sit there and tell European people to rebel against the United States when you're lucky your ass is free because we got away from England fucking 200 years ago. It's like, do you even understand history and who you're saying that to?
Yep. Yep.
You know? It's stupid, these
Yeah.
celebrities. What else? You got anything else, Dan?
No.
I got a couple more here. I guess George Lynch got another project called George Lynch and the Mob. And I guess it's supposed to be
What?
a rotating artists, I guess a la Dead Daisies, they always have
Yeah.
kind of guys that come and go. And but his drummer right now is Tichy.
Oh, really?
Wow.
He's got Tichy so far, and then I guess this is going to be, you'll probably see Mendoza go through there. And,
Yeah.
Robbie
all the-
Crane.
Who knows?
Yeah.
All those kind of freelance guys,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I go see that.
Oh yeah,
I missed him
I
the
go see
last time.
Tichy alone, just amazing.
Yeah, I missed him the last time he came when he was at Wally's. I wanted to see that.
Tichy?
No, Lynch.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see him up close like that. He's so handsome.
And then one more thing.
He's late 60s, right, Lynch?
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah,
Because he's
he
been
is.
around for a long time.
No, he's
Oh, yeah.
70.
I was going to say he's got to be
70?
maybe
He's older
70.
than 80.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I guess the Satch Vi band.
Yeah, they're going on tour.
Are they recording?
I
Or is
think
this
they
just a touring thing.
I think they did record. But I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, they do. They have a single, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the band consists
Oh,
of
with Glenn Hughes.
Yeah,
Glenn
Glenn
Hughes.
Hughes is
Yeah. Right.
and Aronoff
Yeah.
and
Jesus.
Mendoza.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that the touring lineup?
That's the touring lineup. Right?
Wow.
So that could be interesting.
Well, that's pretty
You can go
good.
See that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's all I got for news.
I'm going to see Dave. That's all I know.
Oh man.
Oh,
Dave,
yeah.
How much did you
Yeah.
pay?
He got in
80
quick.
bucks. I
Yeah.
got
Oh,
in.
$80.
I got in pre-sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
we're
gonna see him from here to you. I'm right there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I
great.
showed you that picture of me with him behind me, and I got my arm up. He's like,
Yeah.
you look like a freaking wax figure. It didn't even look real.
You go online now; those tickets are like like $150 or whatever.
Maybe I'll sell mine.
Yeah.
Now,
you
let's
might.
talk about that a little bit. Show.
Yeah.
The
band was
the
good.
M3 show.
The M3
Oh
show.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, Dave was great. Dave was great. Dave sounded good. Dave, what a great show. Dave?
Yeah.
Or he had a good cast of characters.
Right.
Well,
His voice didn't seem.
Y-
He probably went from a 4 to a 5.2.
you could say that same thing though about '84, right? Was he sounding good, or did he have a great band around him?
Well,
And
yeah, of course he did.
he had the band and the show and everything. So that's the hard part. Like all the hoopla's gone, so it's just singing and maybe some charisma.
Yeah.
So that's where it's hard. But you put his vocal up against '84 vocal for singing one of those songs. I think it's fucking the same, if not better. And that's what I said on the last podcast. I know he was getting coaching, and I think he wanted to come out and make obviously he wanted to do it. Now, will he be able to hold that up for the tour? When I see him in Hampton, will
Yeah,
he be
that's
just going
one night.
zippity bip bop bop bop, and not
He
singing?
probably hasn't sang since then. I would
Yeah.
think that tour hasn't started, right?
No, I don't think so.
So
But the band was that guitar
band was
player,
great.
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a Van Halen YouTuber guy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So you're gonna hear the hits. You
They
know,
look
I
like
mean,
Al
it's at the
Trump set.
beach.
What a set list.
Yeah.
That set list was
Oh,
awesome.
Who sent me the set list?
Me.
To him
He did.
and
I said,
Yeah.
and then I sent that in
That's
Hagar.
fucking snooze fest on the other side.
On
Oh,
Hagar, I know.
Human
When it's
speed.
love, humans being.
When it's love, dreams.
It's like, oh my God. Then you
Dreams.
against
Nighty-night.
against what? Romeo Delight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the one.
On fire.
On fire. Like, how do you beat
You
that?
can't even, well, you remember when they first they went to this Howard Stern studio years ago? They're doing the Sammy
Who?
Dave tour,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and Howard goes, "Sammy, what are you opening up with? Smoke a doobie or some smoke a doobie or some stuff."
Yeah.
And he's
Shack a
like,
doobie.
"Hey, what are you opening up with? Huff a teacher." And Howard's like, "You better change that first tune,
Sammy. Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna get buried.
I mean, I wish that set list was
Oh, that was great.
awesome. And the band was great.
Mm.
And those singers, loved it. Those guys were great.
Yeah, bass player kind of didn't have much. I mean, Dave's probably not gonna let you off the leash too much on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deter from him.
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
he
it
don't
was-
move much anymore either.
No.
So he wants you perfectly fucking still back there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was the drummer? I don't even remember. It was just
Nobody knows. He's unknown.
Yeah.
No track record, right? I'm not gonna find it.
So the price point there is like,
yeah.
you
So
know,
did you get tickets, Dennis?
no, I went on and those seats were like $150. They're out of control. So I'll look at Game Time, the app, and
Yep.
a couple days before and see if they go down or whatever.
I think
I
as
was
close
intri-
as it gets to the show.
Yeah, right. Now if I can find two, I'll let you know, and
Yeah.
we'll grab them.
I mean, I would go.
Reasonable.
I go
mean,
more for just to be in the building with the guy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know.
I was more interested in trying to get the Joe Perry one with Chris Robinson.
Yeah.
Those are even more expensive.
Yeah. When you told me the price, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually in Florida, so I can't
Oh,
even go.
God, they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Expensive.
So yeah, Dave's set list was Panama, Drop Dead Legs, You Really Got Me, Unchained, Dance the Night Away, Running with the Devil, Mean Street, Atomic Punk, Cradle Will Rock, Jamie's Crying, I'm the One, Everybody Wants Some, Romeo Delight, Hot for Teacher, Ain't Talking About Love, Sammy's, Thank You, Top of the World, Panama, Run Around, One Way to Rock, Humans Being, Right Now, 5150. Yeah. I mean, Mas Tequila. Love Walks In was the encore.
Oh yeah, that's how you end it.
What an
Come on.
encore. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Not good.
funny.
And then I got one more thing. So Jimmy Page and Sony Pictures are being sued by the songwriter of Dazed and Confused because they never they played it in the movie and they never
Come on,
paid the
Jimmy
guy.
Page is fucking 80-something years old. How long are they gonna keep going after this band?
well in Sony
'cause of the
they're going
movie.
after Sony more than
Yeah,
Jimmy.
right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Jesus.
yeah. But you would think there's people checking all that shit
Right.
before they
Yeah.
release the
Yeah.
movie, you know?
Attorneys and everything else.
Yep. But
Huh.
I guess they didn't. One last thing. I was looking at this today. Hold on. Talks amongst yourselves.
The thing about Zeppelin that's interesting is they get the rap about like ripping off the blues greats for the first couple albums, but I
They
thought
shied away from that.
they
though.
did. That's my point.
I mean,
It's
that
like,
first album is like blues.
oh yeah,
laced.
okay. So Guilty as
And
Charged,
second one,
maybe.
it was still there.
Yeah,
But geez, then from there they just went into more experimental.
yeah, like Kashmir. They some of the other material was just,
yeah.
they didn't steal anything from anybody.
No. Yeah, just a couple.
So hey, did you guys check
Early
out that podcast, Plant?
no, I didn't.
No.
Remember I sent that? I was buried in a chat that we were having. But Digging Deep, Robert Plant, he did that. They're like 20 minutes, and he gets interviewed, and the guy's like, okay, British guy, and he's like, okay, Robert, the song we're going to talk about today is Achilles' Last Stand. And then Robert starts going, oh, yeah, he's awesome. I mean,
Was he
he's-
very nostalgia about it?
Oh yeah, but he's just so you get to know him. I mean, I don't think he's faking it because you see what he's doing with his career and stuff, and he's just so like not into himself. There's no ego or anything. And you learn a lot about the guy from the
Right.
conversations, and he's very like he doesn't get into like slamming anybody or dirt. You know, he just says, "Yeah, those were days. I was lucky to be with good players, and we made some magical music and so forth."
At the age of 19.
yeah, yeah. He's really interesting when you think about your David Lee Ross and some of these other guys, Vince Neil, and I mean they're not even at the same level. Even Ozzy, though, you know, all the excesses, that wasn't really planned.
No.
You know?
Did you guys see the movie yet?
No, I know. You're like, well, you haven't seen the movie.
Is it
Yeah.
good?
Yeah. I'll see it again when it's on streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
Totally. It's good.
What's the name of it?
Have some gummies, Mark, and watch her Becoming Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
which I think is the beginning. I think there's going to be one because they stop at Zepp 2, the album. It's everything up to that. So I
Yeah.
think there's going to be one being Led Zeppelin and then some sort of ending.
Right.
Mm.
What are you watching it on?
I went to the movies.
It
I
was-
saw it in IMAX.
No, but can you get it now?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so.
You may be able to rent it on Prime. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to check.
But it's good. Don't watch it on your on your laptop. Watch it on your TV. Yeah. All right, you want to jump in here? We've
Sure.
been babbling for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Mark, just rah. All right, we got 3 albums for you. We've got again, Don't Shoot the Messenger. These came out in 1985. Our job here is to review and critique to see if they still hold up.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! That's
Sound
what
like-
we're gonna do.
Sound like Ted Kennedy. Yeah, rah. All right, we got White Lion, Fight to Survive. Stryper, Soldiers Under Command. And Night Ranger, 7 Wishes.
We start White Line.
Okay.
Top of the list, White Lion. I never heard of White Lion with this album.
Me neither.
Yeah. Right.
This
Then-
doesn't even have Menzo or
No.
Brada's on it. Right?
But it doesn't have them on the recording, but they joined the band before they toured.
Right.
Right.
And by the way, they toured without any other large band. They just did clubs. They,
On this album.
yeah, they did like 1 or 2 shows with, I think, Quiet Riot or something. But they didn't.
Yeah, I couldn't find.
I read an article and they said they wanted to focus on them and everything. I was like, what?
Yeah, so this was obviously their first release.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What? I don't know what label they were on.
Electra?
Elektra. It's funny they didn't want to put them on a tour, though.
No, I know. Yeah, because I tried to do some research on that. Yeah. Well, the charts, it hit 151. So, I mean, it didn't really, commercial success. But, not a lot to talk about here other than, well, you want me to go over the personnel? Mike Tramp,
Yep.
vocals, rhythm guitar. Vito Bratta, right?
Yep.
Lead guitar, Felix Robinson, bass keyboards, Nicky Capozzi, drums.
I don't
And
even
then-
know. I never heard.
I
of
think Felix, they said, was part of went on to be in another band that we all know of. I can't remember, but
it. Felix,
I think it was him.
The Odd Couples.
Yes.
The production was Caroline Grayshock.
Who's
So
that?
Well, I got
I
a
c-
producer. It's Peter Hokey.
I don't know. That's not
Huh.
what I got, but whatever.
Well, something tells me this band didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
Studio.
Mm-hmm.
But they're on. They're on. Oh, Victor.
No, it was Electra.
Oh,
But the sub
the
label, maybe
wrong
that's the sub label.
yeah. I got
Yeah.
labeled Victor.
He was the roadie, Victor.
Well,
They-
since it was signed to Elektra,
division of Electra.
and
maybe.
then they shelved the album with no intention of publishing it in the USA.
Yeah, went out in Japan, I think,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and then came back at some point. Yeah, very weird.
Hmm.
Very weird. Yeah, and I never heard of them. back
So it
then.
looks like Tramp and Brada wrote everything.
Except one
Well,
song.
Nicky's on one. Felix is on. But no, yeah, Capozzi on 4 of them.
What
right.
about the El Salvador, because I think
No one on that.
I
I don't
yeah.
have to see it.
So I read that came. Mike Tramp had a band called the Danish Lions, and I think that's where that tune came from.
Which one? El Salvador?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well,
Said something about how Brada had to leave the rough guitar tracks because they ran out of time. You know how when we went in the studio, I played the drums, Brian played bass, and Mike was playing guitar in another room, but they were only recording us.
mm-hmm.
He did that on this album, and then at the end they go, "Hey, you got to leave those tracks because we're out of time."
Good Lord.
Jesus.
They must have recorded him just playing along,
Yeah.
and then they kept it.
Huh. So, all right, you want to get into it?
Sure.
First song is Broken Heart. Mark, go. Or Dennis.
Yeah.
I don't like this song. I don't like his voice.
Well, something's weird. Like,
His
his voice seems even whinier than it is on the Pride album.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you describe it that way. Whine.
No, that's whining.
Yeah.
I got decent Brada solo, which is going to kind of be the theme for the album, right? He's the guy stand out. But yeah, forgettable song.
Yeah, I got the song picks up. I put the vocals suck. Guitar sounds good. You know, as you go through this album, you see this. I started seeing this correlation between like loudness and these guys in the sense where you have a phenomenal guitar player, a weak singer at this time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And the material's not that great. You know what I mean? Is this guy in the wrong band? Is what I wrote for Brada.
Yeah.
You know, again, at this time. Well,
Yep.
obviously, they had success after. I did listen to Tramp recently, or over the last 5 years. He had some solo albums. I think his voice sounds better now
Oh, yeah.
than it did back
Maturing,
then.
getting
Mature.
growlier.
Well,
Exactly.
He just had this thing is like,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
just,
a little tone twinge in it,
yeah.
but it was always there. You
Yeah.
never didn't have it.
Well, and some of these songs I say, you know, I like this guitar intro, and I'm just waiting for that voice to come in to make it annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had pretty much the same thing as you guys, and I did like the solo. It's funny, you don't hear Vito developing his tone yet to be like on the next album, which is drastically changed and a lot like Ed. But I read an article that he really, in between these albums, he was focusing on nothing but that, like trying to get a better tone and not sound like Eddie, but it just happened.
We'll touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. Cherokee, next song.
I'll start off. I like the introduction, the intro to this. Brada sounds good again, but once the vocals come in, it just, you know, it's the same thing. It just maybe a little bit stronger song than the first one, but I didn't like it. No.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Tramp's voice is already annoying. Well, two songs in. You know, in the music is this typical bland 80s, same old formula. There's no originality.
Yeah.
These guys are all like carbon copies, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
As I say, could be any band, right? The only reason you know it's them is because of Tramp's annoying voice.
Yep.
Took him out. I played these songs for you, but I don't know what the fuck this band is.
Yeah.
Maybe
No.
soloing when you heard Brada, and I had Brada's good, but too much tapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Especially in '85, where Eddie is like the biggest fucking guitar player in the world. Stay away from it.
Right.
Except everyone flocked to it. It's so weird. Yeah.
It's just as soon as I see a guy do it, back then I was turned off.
Yeah.
Don't go put that finger up on that freaking fretboard.
Keep your hand down.
Yeah, because nothing ever good is going to come out of that except he's stealing Eddie.
That's
an
right.
Eddie thing.
Yeah.
Eddie. Why would you just even do it? And Zach Wild said that once too. He was someone asked him about how we come up with his style and some of that stuff he does. He goes, well, listen, Randy Rhoads does blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Eddie taps. Don't do that. You know, he's smart enough to like, you never saw him tap.
Right.
No.
Zach. So he figured out who these guys are and what they're known for, and he stayed away from that. I said, I got to come up with something.
He said,
something else.
I'm gonna take John Sykes' squeal.
Well, he did.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it. Yeah.
But I'd rather take that than tapping in 85.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, speaking of Sykes, I heard that the album he recorded with that Australian label,
Yeah.
which he
Golden
left,
Robot.
is going to get released, and all the proceeds are going to the family.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
I don't know if they're going to release the whole album or like a few
Yeah.
songs or whatever.
Good.
So,
Wow.
all right, let's keep moving. Next song, third song, Fight to Survive.
I thought like the introduction was cool. It was different. It started out where it's like, wow, is this going to be like a heavy song? But then the keyboards just come in, and it was just it just killed it. I thought.
Did you think that intro sounded like LA Guns?
Yeah. Well,
This one?
I thought so.
LA Guns didn't come to me, but I actually thought
This is
more
straight
along
out of-
like the Motley Crue,
No.
like the first.
Mark's got it here.
Oh,
What?
you 812 source of infection.
Oh, no way?
Exact.
Oh, yeah.
Rattles is before that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's 2 years before.
Oh, and before LA Guns, too, I guess.
Listen to I'm sitting here listening to it and I go, wait a minute. And I go put it on, I had YouTube on.
Yep.
And I played each one.
Wow.
Same fucking intro.
I actually thought Brada's tone, like with the solo, I actually thought it sounded a little bit like Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
Like from that Diary of a Madman album, but I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's that?
Source.
That's it. There's an LA Guns tune that.
No, just talk. Doesn't he do like an intro
That was
tapping
it.
thing?
That was it.
Yeah. Now play source of infection.
It's the same thing.
So, what do I get here? I said the track started out pretty cool,
Right.
and then Tramp started singing. You got it? Oh my god!
That's funny.
Yeah, but Broderick did it first.
Yeah, so Eddie ripped him off.
Yeah, right. He might have heard it though. Who knows?
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. It would be funny to look. I don't know how it's being played. Like, it would be interesting to see if it's one of Eddie's kind of patterns that he uses.
Right.
Came across
You know,
it.
And
But he definitely recorded it before Eddie did.
oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
What song are we on?
Yeah. Fight to Survive.
Okay.
5 minutes, 14
You know,
seconds.
Tramp's taking a song that's on a 6 scale and bringing it down to a 4,
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I mentioned the LA Guns intro, but now it's VH intro. And then Mike's voice just ruins this when it comes in. I like the double bass a little bit in the chorus. That was pretty cool, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, next song, Where Do We Run?
Yeah.
I just got Tramp's is destroying these tracks.
I just
destroying
don't
these
understand.
tracks.
I don't understand the keyboards either because, you know, I get like what Edward did in the early 90s or whatever, 89 or with Hagar,
Yeah.
but this is 1985. You got a guy that you're trying to put into a situation where he's almost like they're trying to make this guy
Bon
front
Jovi.
and center, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Front, you know, Brada being like a guitar hero.
Yeah.
And yet
This is supposed to be the Dave Eddie combo.
Yeah, but why are they adding keyboards in? You know,
Because it's 1985, and
yeah.
a lot of bands are injecting that because they're trying to find a different demographic other than the headbangers. So you put some soft keys on there, and then the girls will come running.
Yeah.
They're just looking for a bigger audience.
Yeah.
You know?
I just said it was really bad, this
Yep.
song. I don't know.
I mean, Brada's great on it, solid. But he's as good as he is. He can't save this.
No, he's in the wrong band, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
You know,
All right. In the City.
I put the guitar intros was okay, but then again the singer comes in and it's like he's like crying.
If only the singer didn't come in.
With the children. It's like just it's awful.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I guess it's another dud, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a different singer could make these songs better.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think the songwriting is that great either. I mean, Tramp sucks on this, but the music isn't that far from it.
Yeah.
These song titles are just horrible. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing. We'll get into the other bands, but there's nothing like catchy or anything.
No.
There's no hook.
No.
This album's like if you went and bought back in the old days in the 80s the tutorial on rock and roll and how to
This
play
would be
in a
the
rock
band playing.
This would be like that cheesy
Soundtrack.
studio soundtrack music
Yeah.
that you'd hear.
Yep.
That was done by a bunch of guys, that no-name guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
name the album Fight to Survive.
I just wrote this is pretty bad in that vocal. Good Lord. All right. Next song. All the Fallen Men.
Junk.
Yeah, faster tempo finally, but the vocals suck. And I thought Brado's solo was a little weird too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing here. So many bands from that era just didn't understand how to break out of the mold and find a sound that's not just been done over.
I don't think there was a lot of how long did it take them to make this? Is this just like a bunch of
Probably
hey,
an
you
hour.
got a song, Mike, and Vito throwing songs together? I know this is not a concept album, but what's the theme? You look at some of all
totally.
burn in hell, in the city, all fall, just really strange.
Yeah. I think I took a longer dump this morning than it took to make this album.
Well, I mean, granted, a lot of bands make great albums because they have the money to stay in the studio for 2 years.
Right.
This guy, they got to get in and out, right?
Yep.
So, in their defense, they don't have a lot of time to get
Right.
stuff done. Where Metallica goes in the studio, fucking take as long as they want,
Right.
and they cross every T and dot every I,
And-
so it's perfect.
And reading Brian Wheat's book, they don't even use the studio anymore. They all have studios in their houses, and they record at Brian's, they mix at Frank's, and the album's done.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't even need that. I'm surprised the labels aren't starting to tank too.
Yeah.
How many people are buying physical?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you going to buy? CD? I mean, what's
Maybe
coming after that?
collectors. That's
Nothing.
it.
Yeah. I just said it was bad. All right, All Burn in Hell.
Nah, I don't know. I got this song is a 5 or 6, and then Tramp starts singing and brings it down to about a 3, and it's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, heavy intro, somewhat. Right. Yeah. And not good.
I just said at this point, if their next album was like this album, they would
That
have
would've been
would have
their
never
last
heard.
album.
Yeah, never heard of them. Kid of 1,000 Faces.
I got cool opening drum and guitar.
Come on, that goes right
That
with.
makes sense.
But they had a cool opening. I think the drum and guitar were doing something in
Yeah.
the beginning.
I said the same thing.
Drum intro.
Guitar groove.
Tramp socks, decent riff on this track. And there was some fucking breakdown in there that was horrific. I don't know what they were doing. It's quick.
Yeah.
It's right after the solo. It's terrible.
Huh. I said, yeah, I like the guitar and the groove at the start of the song.
Yeah.
I said it could be a heavier tune, but then Tramp comes in and it's like Jesus. It softens up to this.
Yeah, crying.
Well done. To be honest, even this next album, I wasn't too
Right.
big fan of him. I think he cleaned it up
I
a
think
little
he
bit.
toned it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Enough of the whining, Mr. Tramp.
still there.
Yeah. All right. El Salvador.
I got it's Brada versus Brada duel.
Yeah, right. Trade off with the
Yeah, yeah.
electric.
Brada
and-
wins.
Or does
Spanish-
vibrato win?
This is their like Spanish fly in the beginning.
Yeah, decent riff, opening riff, cool groove.
Chorus
Then
is
Tramp
horrible.
showed up.
Mm.
I never seen I don't know if I've ever seen a singer destroy a song, album, as like
Yeah.
this guy.
He might be worse than the loudness guy.
Yeah,
You know, at least the loudness guy
because the guy's
flow.
trying to sing and he's from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for this, he's from where? He's Danish.
Denmark. Yeah.
But does he have an accent when he talks?
He does.
He does.
You haven't seen the? It's a great.
Maybe that's playing into this
Well,
weird vocal.
Yeah.
I think it does. There was a great interview of him and Vito sitting and being interviewed, and Mike is talking, and Vito's just looking down. You know, he's thinking about his next guitar part or whatever. And they're asking him, Mike Tramp, about something, and Mike Tramp goes, "Well, we really like doing these beneficials because we get to share." And Vito looks at him, and Mike's like, "What?" He's like, "Beneficial. It's a benefit, not beneficial." It's the funniest thing. Like, you had no idea.
Yeah. So I guess that's playing into some of this weird tone.
I wonder if this has a lot to do with why no one knows where Vito Bratta is right now. He got like abducted. He's been MIA for
He did.
Weird.
you know, like just like
What's he doing?
no one
I don't
knows.
think he ever did
You know,
anything else after.
Like a Vinnie Vincent thing going on, but
Yeah.
I had no idea. Yeah. Huh.
Well,
And-
Sykes too was kind of
Yeah.
elusive after.
right.
But he put material on.
oh my God. Yeah. All right. Next song, "The Road to What is this? Valhalla.
Van Halen.
Valhalla.
Van Halen.
Van Halen. Well, Van Halen.
Jesus.
Oh, Van Halen.
And any of you guys listen to this all the way through? You want to admit that?
Oh wait, my first note is "Shut the hell up."
Oh,
Then it kicks in with this horrible guitar tone, and that was about it.
this is the one with the piano, right?
That's all I
Nothing
put.
like-
Nice piano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only decent thing on it,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it's not even those guys.
All right, here's one for you. Loudness album or this album, Dennis?
I'd probably go loudness.
I
'Cause of the-
hated the loudness, but
Yeah.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Like
I'd go
musically,
Yeah.
better songs.
Right.
You know, we struggled with it, but this is
Yeah, because even if you brought Jack Russell in, he couldn't sing. No good vocalist can save this album, I don't think.
I don't remember.
I mean, granted,
Well-
Tramp really killed it, but I don't think the material's that great,
I-
regardless of his voice.
I don't remember hearing keyboards on that loudness album either.
No.
They were straight up in your face. You
Yeah,
know?
and their music was pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know, we were just getting sick of the vocals.
right.
Right.
All right, Mark. Say what you will. Does it hold up 40 years later?
Nope.
I'm going to do this in the form of a sound effect.
Yeah. I said no, and all the reasons we've talked about through the songs, but I would not go back and listen to this. Thanks for making me listen to this, Dennis. Jesus. All right, what's next?
Why don't we get the Stryper?
Stripper?
All right, let's do Stryper.
Stripper.
So obviously, Christian band.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you knew that.
Oh my
I
God.
just thought they liked stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of like some of that death metal, you know, like when we, you know, like what was the name
Oh,
of the
what was
band?
that?
Oh, Pantera. Was
Yeah.
it Pantera that we
But we
reviewed?
reviewed. No, it wasn't Pantera.
No, the other one. Come on.
Who's that heavy thrash band we reviewed?
Megadeth, Metallica,
Hell Awaits.
Anthrax.
Hell Awaits was the
Slayer.
album.
Slayer. Right. Those guys going totally like, devil worshiping and
Right.
death and destruction and, punch somebody. And these guys are so over to the other side. I mean, didn't they pass out Bibles at concerts?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
I'm
what?
all set. I have one.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as what you handed
It's in
out.
my nightstand. I don't need that. But on the other hand, it takes some balls to
Oh,
go out
yeah.
and do that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
85.
Well, Mark, you just said it on the last album. These bands aren't trying to find their unique path. I guess they did.
They did. You got to give them credit for at least trying to do something different.
Yep.
Especially back then, I don't think there were a lot of Christian bands,
Yep.
in that.
No, they mentioned
Hard rock.
an article I was reading. There was another one. I forget the name of it. That was it.
Now, this was their second release?
Yep. I think the first. This is the second
Well, I don't
full release. I think the first album was like an EP.
Right. And so the charts numbers 84, made 84, number 84, it went gold. They toured with Great White. They did
Yeah.
a double bill with Great White, small
Two ends
venues.
of the spectrum,
Yeah, so I can't wait to hear what Jack's got to say about this.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you guys know. But I think the big thing here is they got that Mike Wagoner, the producer from Germany,
Yeah.
Huh.
to work
Yeah,
with
well
them.
known.
Yep. So we're gonna get a little sense of that new wave of British heavy metal. You know
Yep.
what I mean? That European thing going on here.
Right.
So Robert Sweet took their name and created it's not an acronym, it's a backronym or something. So it stands for Salvation Through Redemption, Yielding Peace, Encouragement, and Righteousness.
Wow.
In case you were wondering what Stryper stands
So
for, Mark.
powerful.
I had no idea how they got that name.
It's not how they got the name.
Well, they
They got the name
Oh.
from the Bible.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was a line in, was it Isaiah something?
yeah.
It said
Well, it's-
Stryper, but it wasn't. Then they spelled it with a Y.
It's right on the album
They pulled
cover.
it out.
Wow.
Yeah, they put that right on the album.
Huh.
Did you look at the album cover? I don't get it.
I forget.
It's like I think it's an ambulance, and it's painted like yellow and black, and they're standing
Oh
around it.
yeah.
So
Okay.
why'd they dress like bees? I mean, what? like what? Is that a religious?
Well, I
Si-
think because the name's Stryper, so they
Okay.
stripes.
Yeah. So
they just decided to go.
Yeah.
I don't know why that color, but
You think they changed the I to Y so people wouldn't throw in a P and call it the strippers?
strippers.
I tell you what, man. To be a Christian band in
Yeah.
'85 touring,
Yeah.
that's got to be. Tough
Wait, who did
to
you
be
say
around
they toured
all
with?
that stuff going on?
Right, like, can you imagine them touring with Motley Crue or Wasp or like how does that happen?
What about
That's what I'm
like?
saying. You got to be like have a force field around you.
What about?
Hey, Robert, look at these.
Yeah.
What about groupies?
Well, that's
like
what-
how do they
yeah.
handle that?
Just the band you're on tour with.
Yeah. Wow.
Debauchery.
I don't. Right. Yeah.
I mean, if they went out with Wasp,
They went out with Great White.
Yeah, that's
mean,
even
they-
Great White.
Yeah. Jack Russell. He's
Hopefully
like,
this-
Well, I think these guys probably just split and said, well,
Yeah.
if they're going that way, we're going out.
I mean, can you still do drugs and sing this stuff? And I mean, did they do
I don't think
drugs
so.
or anything?
I don't think you can.
No.
So obviously it's the drummer and singer are brothers,
Mhm.
and they had a few rotations at guitar. Doug Aldrich was in the band prior to them being signed.
Really?
Yep, and CC DeVille.
No way.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
I had no idea.
Before they got Oz.
Like that. Okay, so that's a real name. Oz Fox.
No, he's probably got some long.
Oswald.
Let's find out his real name. Oz Fox. Richard Alfonso Martinez.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Wow.
All right, Richard.
Tim Gaines, keyboards and bass.
And then the brothers, right?
Yep. All right, want to jump in?
Yeah.
All right, Soldiers Under Command.
I just go, wow, I haven't heard that riff before.
Yeah.
It's nothing special, nothing new.
I just said it was okay.
Well, yeah. The only thing that makes it a little better is Tramp's not singing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me and these vocals, I was having a hard time.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think his vocals, you just got to...
Well, the difference is...
I mean, I guess I know it's 85.
Tramp really can't sing at this point.
Yeah.
This guy can sing.
I'm
I
not
just
saying
don't
he's
like
a bum.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying
style.
it's...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this next song, I guess, makes me want to sing.
I just said another guitar riff, predictable guitar riff, been used 1,000 times. Stupid lyrics. Really fucking stupid lyrics, this guy.
I wrote, this is like a Run to the Castle in high heels.
Yeah, his lyrics are...
2 minutes and 51 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, all right. I had some other things. I don't even know what I was saying. I may have been... All right, third song, Together Forever.
I didn't really care for this song.
Did you like the first verse of all you girls and all you guys rock the world with the new beat or something? Like it was so bad.
Which one are we on?
Together Forever.
Together Forever.
I can't. I don't like his voice, and the lyrics are just bad, lame.
So this is gonna be.
And let's make a public. Let's make this clear. When I say the lyrics are cheesy, I'm not saying anything about
Christianity.
the message and what they're singing
Yeah.
about Christian.
Right.
It has nothing to do
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that. It's just lyrical content.
Yeah.
Words are bad.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Was that cross behind me intimidating you, Mark? I'm just kidding. I don't have it.
No, but
I don't know what's
I
behind
just want to
me.
make clear we
Liquor.
say I don't like the lyrics and
Yeah.
we don't like what he's singing about.
Dennis, the cross is upside down. I mean,
Oh yeah, small problem. Oh, the hook fell out.
all right. Next song, First Love.
Yeah.
I
so-
just wrote, Mark, will you just hold me? I mean,
Yeah, so this was the Jesus ballad. 5 minutes, 43 seconds.
and it goes nowhere.
No.
There's no crescendo. There's nothing. It just
Yeah, I got. Is it possible to be into God and not purposely cut your cock and balls off?
whoa, hey, maybe
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
This is so bad. How?
Dude, Chad,
I don't,
AI, ask at your phone.
Can you be
See what
Christian?
they say. What's that? Chad G.
how can you be in a hard rock band and be that wimpy? How do the two
Yeah.
go together? That's just pure wimpiness.
Well, it's over the top wimpy.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
The heck.
I just, yeah. I don't know.
Well, they're having a hard time with the identity, right? They're trying to be, I guess, somewhat. They got Wagner. Wagner's problem. What's he thinking?
Well,
when he's doing-
Wagner should have said.
I just
"Hey,
did
on
an
the
album
first
with
song,
the
wait a minute,
Scorpions.
dudes. Bring me back something better.
Yeah.
Whoa. We go about this one. No. You know, these songs are terrible. I don't know Wagner let this get
Yeah.
through his fingers.
So the end of the year, we've got I've already written down a little game we're going to play, and this album's going to be in the game. So that's going to be interesting. All right, next song, The Rock That Makes Me Roll, Dennis.
You know, the opening a little bit heavy, but again, the vocals are terrible. 4 minutes, 56 seconds. Another stinker, in my opinion.
I said great riff and drumming
Yeah.
starting, vocals really weak and lyrically, and then I mean okay song, but yeah.
Yeah, like a decent riff. The music's pretty good. Sweet blows.
Right.
It's kind of got that 80s anthem shuffle groove, almost Storm in a Castle
Mm.
kind of thing.
So, but
But-
right now we don't have any video. This is not MTV didn't touch this.
Oh really?
Yeah,
No,
I don't think there was
so.
any videos or anything that came out of this.
No.
Yeah.
How would they do that with this
Yeah.
image that they have? That's weird.
Mm.
Well, there's no single off this, right?
You got to be something.
They don't. You got to have a single to get on MTV. I mean,
No.
they probably went to him and say, "What do you got?" And like,
First Love.
nothing.
First,
Yeah.
Oh well, you need a song for MTV.
Yeah.
Ain't any of these.
oh
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
the what's interesting here is it finished 84. It was a gold status. So people did buy this,
yeah.
but
wow!
but it
Sophomore album.
yeah.
They sell great
Yeah.
because if your first one did great,
Yeah.
they're all buying it.
Right.
You couldn't listen to this beforehand back in those days.
Right.
You know,
All right, song 6, Reach Out.
touch me.
I wrote.
I got an annoying vocal intro.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet just can't write lyrics.
Mhm.
I don't think he's got any writing creds. This song completely sucks. And now I understand why the initials of the album spell suck.
Right.
Because it does.
I wrote, boy, I really hate these types of songs. There's just no feel.
No.
And I said, this is
all-
a bad song.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like computer generated
Yeah.
AI song. You know,
Yeah.
play a rock song. And
Yep.
This is what comes up. It's been written 1,000 times, played 1,000 times by 1,000 other lame bands.
And these are long songs. I mean, that's 5 minutes, 21 seconds. I mean, that's a long friggin' song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't help when they
No.
suck.
Let's see here. Let me see if I can.
But you listen to Perfect Strangers, which is 7 minutes,
Yeah, but
goes by in a second.
right. Yeah, great musicians.
So ChatGPT said it can't produce a song, but it said it can write one. So here's a song. The title is Through the Fire. The verse, the sky is burning, but we're still alive, chasing shadows through the neon light. Feel the thunder, it's under our skin. This is the night where the fight begins.
That's it.
So,
That's the formula.
yeah. Oh, that's great.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
What are we on? What song? Waiting for a love that's real?
Right.
All right. Go, Dan.
I didn't like this at all. I thought this was like their attempt to get some like MTV exposure, or maybe this was the video song they were trying to do, trying to be a little bit commercial, different from what they were doing before. I just didn't like the playing on it. Yeah, I didn't like the song at all.
Mm.
No. It's basically they're reciting the Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all that's going on. To rock music,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
you know. Terrible. I don't know.
I just
I mean,
wrote-
Sweet and Tramp should have a sing-off in front of like a crowd of people. See who the first person to hang themselves wins.
yeah. I said it starts okay, but then it goes into these silly choruses that are just very weak.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Together as one. Dennis, will
So-
you hold me on this one?
So, sure. Actually, this is one I put like, this album needs like Viagra. Because here's another softie. I mean, it's awful. I
Yeah.
mean, just terrible. This might be one of the worst songs. That's saying something.
Yeah.
That's what I just said. I puked in my mouth. Then I went to the next one.
I don't know. I think this is probably one of the best songs to come out of the 80s. This
Yeah.
is
It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, the
Together
1880s.
means two. As one.
Oh, yeah. All right, next song, Surrender. Surrender.
Like I like the riff on.
Yeah,
this
heavy.
track.
Yeah.
Sweet Socks.
I wrote,
Well, I
okay.
get Sweet can sing. I don't like his tone.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got that tone. I need to smoke a couple packs of Camel and a few hits of whiskey. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? To get out of that range.
Yep. I wrote, it's okay. I surrender.
Yeah. I need to go to communion
should surrender.
after this.
Yeah, I feel bad saying this stuff, but I got to drive home.
Yeah, but just remember, they're getting paid to write this and play this shit.
Yeah. All right. For last song is 10th song, Battle Hymn of Republic.
Yeah, when I saw the title, I'm like, wow, this sounds like a Saxon song. Right? What's the odds that the music matches? I just put, what the fuck is this? And I put an arrow. Like, who's Julia Ward Howe? Like,
It's the funniest version I've.
Someone's got to apologize.
You've heard this song before, though, right?
No.
It's a religious song.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This is
it's southern, though,
yeah.
isn't it?
This is the funniest version I've ever heard of it.
Oh,
like-
it's a legitimate song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
you know the freaking song.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll
I
just
don't know.
start. You hear it like,
Oh,
Saving Grace? Is that it?
we're gonna.
I mean, it's only
No,
2 minutes, 36 seconds. And I
Thank
just
God.
put, you finished the album with this?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I put. I'm going to forget they put this on the end of this album.
yeah.
It's
So here's a bunch of versions of it.
Yeah,
Let's.
yeah.
Do you want to hear?
Bonus song.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find like. This isn't them, but this is probably the way it should be done. This is already better than Stryper's album.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's like in the
Like
Civil
a
War. There.
Civil War documentary.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Ken
Yeah.
Burns doc, and
Yeah.
they're playing this. Yeah. So what is this doing on there on this album?
Well, it's a religious
It's
song.
got
Yeah.
religious. No.
All
Like,
right.
we don't get the point already.
Yeah. You're
Right. You just sang the Bible for 9 songs. We're worried about, hey, what are these guys singing about?
all right, Mark. Say what you will. Does it hold up?
No.
Did it ever hold up?
No, I don't think. I wouldn't like that then.
Can you imagine if I showed up at your house, Mark, and I was into Stryper and tried to get you and Mike to get into Stryper?
Dress up like bumblebees.
Anyways, Dan, I'm sure you're in
Yeah.
the same.
No.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry. What do you guys think out there? Stryper? Come on. Let's
I
go.
know. Get,
They're on
get some
tour.
feedback.
Yeah, they're still playing.
They're on
actually,
tour.
right.
They released an album.
Really?
Yeah.
On purpose?
Do they? I mean, did they get better? I mean, I guess that's for down the road we can look at
I
that.
don't
Like,
know.
what
Well, they had
happened
a
in
big hit
86,
on the
87?
next album. They had a Call to You, or
Yeah, I don't know.
there was a big
Yeah.
MTV video for
Ballad.
Oh, okay.
Ballad, right? Not a rock.
Yeah, like ballad, but not
Yeah.
kind of in between.
Yep. All right, let's move on to Night Ranger, 7 Wishes.
Yeah, so this hit 10 on the U.S. charts, the Billboard. So third release, excuse me.
So what was that following up?
Dawn Patrol was 1, right?
Yep.
This next one.
We reviewed it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, what the hell was the name?
Try to put those.
Yeah.
Midnight Madness?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
So this is selling off the success of that, right? Because that was a pretty big album.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, and they got a body of work at this point, right? They got
Yeah.
some pretty good. Yep. So Jack Blades, bass, lead vocals. Jeff Watson, guitars. Brad Gillis guitars, does some vocals. And then our buddy Alan Fitzgerald, the guy's dressed up as like a surgeon.
Yeah.
He's the keyboards.
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about him. And then Kelly Keegi obviously drums, and he does some lead vocals too.
Yep.
Vince and Tommy are on it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's right. This album's a little more guitar heavy than. Remember the last one was heavy keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons.
Yeah, I always wonder what Gillis is thinking with the cheese going on,
Yeah.
Blade's vocals, the keys. I wonder if he's like, that stint in Aussie was pretty cool.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
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 I don't
Surprised
know.
he didn't depart from this and
I
try to
think
do
this
something.
was
He's good.
successful though.
Huh?
I think they were hugely successful though.
10.
Yeah,
It got
very
it
successful,
made
but I
it to
just
number.
feel- I mean,
Yeah, I
does
think
he
they.
really like the material? It's all Blades.
Well,
Material.
you're gonna see the songs that Gillis co-wrote, and to me, I think his guitar is a little bit more front in the front.
Well,
you
that's
know.
why I'm saying.
I mean, we'll get
I feel
into
like
it,
he was
but-
being kind of stifled
No.
a bit by Blades in this band to say, "Hey, you're not going to come out here and shred fest
How
on my
many
album."
How many great guitar players coexist with a prominent keyboard player? I mean, I can only think of like maybe one. Well, actually, maybe a
Deep
couple.
Purple.
Deep Purple. You could argue the Boston guys, right? With that keys and stuff. It doesn't work, and in most cases. And I think this is a situation where it's like, I don't know, man. Tone down the keyboards.
Yeah, it just
You know?
takes any
Jesus.
type of energy or power out of a rock song. You're a rock band. You're a hard rock band. You got to be careful when you inject keyboards like that.
And Watson's not a bad rhythm guitar player
No.
either. He's still
No,
with
and
the
all
band.
the guys in a band could play,
Yeah.
but they just letting this guy Fitzgerald off the leash on these
Yeah.
albums.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump in. First song, 7 Wishes.
Well, there we go. I go, not a great track. Wimpy synth. I think I don't know. I think this band struggles to what their identity should be. We want to be a pop band, or do we want to be a hard rock band? They're falling in between here.
Well, they're trying to
can't put a
create
finger on 'em.
something. Yeah.
I like the solo in this with Gillis, of course.
Yeah. I don't mind Blade's voice.
Oh, I don't either.
I like his voice. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
say,
I don't
I don't
like
think
his
he's the problem.
He's the best singer of the three so far.
Oh, yeah.
Clear.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's not hard to do.
Yeah, I didn't mind the tune. They definitely not a good album opener. And they still play this on tour today.
Yeah. Wow.
Still a big song.
They do?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
I went and looked it up.
Have you heard it before?
I've never seen them before, but the song.
No, the song?
Oh yeah, there's a few of the.
I haven't heard.
There's a few of these that took me right back.
Really?
Yeah. All right, song 2, Faces.
Here come those keys.
Yeah.
You're riding into the drum mix sucks on this album. We talked about that too, how the drums
Yep.
make or break a band. It looks like they put no effort into this drumming. Sounds like
Yeah.
a couple of tin cans in the background. Too poppy for me.
Well, they're like you said, they want to be a crossover band. They don't even want to be hard rock or pop band. They kind of want to be in the middle.
Loverboy.
They want their song played in a, while you're waiting for a new car in the dealership,
Right.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
I like the solo a lot, and how they came out of it. So, Dennis, you have anything?
No, not really.
No? All right.
To add.
4 a.m.
So I like this. Okay, I like this song for what it is.
Hey, say it. Come on. You can say
I
it.
love this song.
We're struggling to say something positive.
I know it's been like a
Oof.
Negative from. So good riff. The obvious single. It did make it. I believe there was a video with this.
Reached 19.
Yeah. You had the classic Night Ranger chorus. They still play this
Yep.
song. Now, is it ballsy? No. Okay. And it's not, but as far as the song structure, I think it works.
You know what they do that the other two albums
Follow
don't
it.
do is Jack can write a hooky chorus.
Yeah.
It gets you in,
Yeah.
keeps you there.
Oh, he's a better writer. Yeah.
Yep. All right, next tune. I Need a Woman.
I got awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long pause there. Yeah.
There's nothing good about this track. I got Blade's got a good voice, but the song just sucks.
Yeah.
I wrote, okay, tune. Well, no, it isn't. I'm not taking this. It doesn't go anywhere.
No, one of the worst songs.
Yeah. Sentimental Street. Last song, first side.
I got it opened up. Sound like Prince. Something.
I actually put Asia.
Yeah, there's something from that.
Reach number 8.
Yeah. Yeah, this was their big song off of this at the time. Yeah.
Ballad.
That's right.
But you know what? It's not sappy like the Stryper ones were.
Those.
Like this, they can still write a song like this.
Yeah.
It's constructed.
I put down like that to relate this. I put down high school dance song.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was going to say. What age demographic are they going for?
16-year-olds,
Girls.
15-year-olds.
Or a 60-year-old in an office, and this is playing in
Or
the.
you're about to get your tooth drilled. Guy shooting you up with Novocaine.
Yeah.
You're hearing this in the background.
This is going on.
And don't get me wrong, I said the song is not my cup of tea, but they know how to structure
Well, of
a
course.
song
Yeah,
and
right.
write a song.
Yeah.
But it just seems so contrived to me. And forced. Like they feel they have to do this to make. It's too. I think it's just too premeditated. These, they have an agenda.
Yeah.
Where some guys just like, this is what we wrote. This is what came out.
Yeah.
I think you guys are really sitting here.
Forcing
we
it.
need a hit. We need a ballad. You know what I mean? They're like, they're too deliberate.
Yep. All right. This by Needs to Rock. Is that what the title is? I have that right?
This boy needs to.
Oh, This
rock.
Boy Needs to Rock.
Yeah.
My O is missing. This Boy Needs to Rock, Dennis. Go.
So I like the.
All right,
intro.
Mark, you go.
I mean, I like the intro. This is Gillis is all over this. Okay, song.
You all right, Mark?
Oh, that was funny. I got decent track. 80s rock anthem.
Yeah.
Nothing new there. And, you kind of know where the song's going, but it would make a good opener maybe on that tour.
Gillis sounds good.
Yeah.
Gillis is great.
It'd be interesting. I think this song probably should have been the lead-off song.
I
of the
think
album.
so.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's side 2 lead off.
Yeah.
I wrote this is one of their classic tempo rock songs that they write. Good anthem stuff. They're known for. Great solo. Decent tune.
Yeah.
Next one.
Could be soundtrack to those Kevin Bacon movies.
Yeah.
I could talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Will Follow.
Follow you or follow?
I Will Follow You. Sorry.
I will follow.
I read that. I'm like, wait, they don't have a U2 song.
That's a better song.
Yeah,
You too.
At this point in the album, I'm starting to ask the question, what's the difference between this band and the outfield of the Hooters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they got longer hair.
Yeah.
They look more rock, but they're certainly not playing anything different than the wheelhouse these guys are in at that time, right?
No.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald co-wrote this, the keyboard player, so he's involved
Doctor.
in this. Yeah.
I just think they're just trying too hard to be mainstream. It just seems forced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what are guys like Hoffman and the Hetfields? What are they thinking of these guys
Yeah.
and this music? Like if I come out with this music and then I bump into Hetfield, I'm going the other way.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
I wrote, not a fan. Seems real basic filler song for them. Interstate Love Affair.
I thought that the start was cool. Obviously, the obvious, the lyrics. What the fuck is an interstate love affair? I guess if
Just
you
love
live
on
in
the
a different
road.
state. Or,
Yeah, they're lovers on the road. I'm assuming. I didn't read the lyrics.
Who's singing this song?
Good question.
Because I don't think that's Blades.
it didn't sound like
No.
it.
It's Tramp.
Yeah. Actually, it could be Kiji,
Yeah,
the
he
drummer.
does do some singing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it started out with a cool chugging guitar.
Right.
But of
Yeah.
course, the keys come in and destroy that. I like Blade's vocals on this track. Had a little more grit. And Gillis was good on this one.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, the
So it wasn't
outro solo, which was really good. Yeah, I didn't have much more to add. Night Machine.
Oh, heavier song. This is Gillis all over this. He does this kind of melodic solo too. That's pretty structured, which is, I guess who he is. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, not a good song, but I mean,
This
if
is
you're
the
gonna
one
listen to
Tommy
one
and
of them.
Vince are on.
Oh, really?
Backup vocals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You want to ruin a song, put Vince Neil on it.
Yeah,
I don't-
right.
Can you hear him?
Well, I don't know. He's probably buried in the back. They didn't turn his mic on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mike,
listen,
you sounded good. Vince. we
let's
got
just-
we got
I'd
that
rather-
we got that take. Sounded good.
Vince is like, how come everyone else's mic has a cord coming out of it?
Let's
Hey, don't worry about it. You're wireless.
Yeah. New technology.
Yeah, it's 1985. Oh my god.
What song we? Oh,
Night Machine.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you guys. Listening to these 3 albums from them, what's the band we reviewed a few times? Dave McCarty,
What
Y&T?
Y&T. There's some similarities, but I think Y&T obviously heavier and
Yeah.
rocker, but
Yeah.
some of the songs, the way they're written, they feel to me,
Like YT-ish.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you remove the keyboards, it'd probably be a lot more closer. Because Y&T
Yeah.
didn't really have keyboards, but yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't think Blades is letting Gillis take over on this.
Mm.
He's not playing a huge role.
No.
You know, he's there, but
Secondary.
Yeah.
secondary.
All right. 10th song, Goodbye. Reached number 17, by the way.
I put, here we go, back to the high school junior prom.
I got good night. I got good riddance.
Rename the song.
Is this a textbook 80s sappy tissue grabber, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We know who-
Would you
But-
like to dance?
But it's, again, I got to go back to it's like well-crafted
Well,
song
the songs are written
yeah.
okay.
opposed to Stryper's ones that were
Yeah.
just
Oh,
horrific.
believe me, yeah, you
Those
could write
ballads.
Bad ballads.
Yeah.
But I'll take a I'll Remember You or a Home Sweet Home ballad over this kind of ballad.
Oh, yeah.
We still get some rock element, and it's,
Yeah.
but it's a
Yeah.
ballad.
Yeah.
Where this is just straight up fucking,
Yeah.
top 40 radio.
Cheesy.
Yep.
Cheese.
Yeah.
All right. Dennis, say what you will. Does this album hold up for you?
Nope.
Mark?
Nope. And this album went platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't
Yeah.
hold up for me either.
Well, what did Midnight Madness go?
That had a
Because
huge
that
hit.
album had more hits than this.
Yeah.
Platinum. They had 2 platinum albums in a row.
Yep.
Well, they were making songs that, like some of these songs were successful.
I don't really know any of those songs. Any of those things.
4 in the morning, Sentimental Street.
And
I mean,
in Faces, I remember too.
yeah.
But I mean, you look at the album before. You're still rocking America, Sister Christian. When you close your eyes,
Yeah. There's
Those
some
are
big
big.
songs.
They were bigger than these hits, right? I don't remember these songs.
You could probably say this is a gold album, and the other 500 were from the first album,
Right.
meaning they bought it because of.
They bought some of the.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them, like, they play at M3, so I've seen them a few times. They put on a good show.
Yeah.
I mean, Blades is jumping around. He's a small guy.
Oh yeah,
But
You could just watch
he's in
Gillis.
great shape. I mean, he takes care of himself, and then Gillis is just,
Underrated.
yeah. They're probably a better live band,
I think so.
than if I mean,
And the
some
drummer
of
sets up
it
weird.
just sucks because you look
Side.
at this
Well,
band. What?
Go ahead.
Well, you listen to this band and they have bits and pieces, and you're like, wow, like "Don't Tell Me You Love Me." That's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
Or you can still
Well, I
rock in
think
America.
those songs-
I think we liked the last album we
Those
reviewed.
paid
Yeah.
the bills. Those songs paid the bills.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
just like, but they gotta
Sister
like,
Christian.
they gotta come in with like, it's
Yeah.
What were
I
you gonna
think
say?
there's elements of it, but not enough on this one.
Were you gonna say something about the sideways drumming?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned the Hooters. Didn't the Hooters guy set up sideways too?
Oh, I don't remember.
So instead of the drummer facing right out straight, they're sideways on the side of the stage. That's how Keegi always is.
And then-
real. Oh, because he's singing, right?
He's singing, so he's
Yeah.
always sideways.
And the keys are on the other side.
The keys are on the other side. But the Hooters, I think, did that too. The drummer was facing like the side of the stage instead of out to the crowd.
Yeah.
Weird.
Which I think they do it because you can see the drummer more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right. So I got that. We haven't played this game in a while. Name the year this album came out. Obviously before our time of reviewing albums. So when did we start, Mark? 22,
22, yeah.
I think. We'll see who's I guess closest.
Okay.
We'll get the nod. Aerosmith, Get Your Wings. Great album.
I'm gonna say 73.
I'm gonna 74.
The answer is Dennis, 74.
74. Yeah, I knew it was right.
Nice. All right. Rush, Permanent Waves.
Permanent Waves. I'm gonna say that. Permanent Waves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
86.
No way.
Oh, I don't know. Is
No
that the-
way.
86.
You looked at me
You
like
start getting.
Mark's-
So I'm
Mark's
gonna go.
drunk.
I'm gonna say.
Permanent Waves. Was it early?
I'm gonna go like
Well-
81.
No.
so these are all before we started. These are all bands that we couldn't review, albums we couldn't review.
All right.
So 86 wouldn't work. I didn't even think to say that. But Dennis' head almost flipped when he said it.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't tell. That
What'd you
was
say?
after.
Well, I said like 81.
Okay. What'd you say?
I
Just
thought
do
it
it
was
again.
done after
We'll let you pick again.
Moving Pictures,
Right.
which is 80. All right, I'm gonna go 82.
Dennis?
No, it can't be 82 because we didn't. We were.
Well,
many
no, it
times
could
you gonna
it could
freaking-
it could it could have been the beginning of the year.
All right, 82.
All right. Den's closer, 80.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty.
So when did?
80 Permanent Waves, then Moving Pictures.
Oh, it was before Moving
Yeah,
Pictures.
that's right. And then they did.
So
the
Moving Pictures must have been
Exit
81.
Stage Left. After that, there was a live album, and then that's when they got into
Keys.
Grace Under Pressure.
Yeah.
Actually, Grace Under Pressure was 84, I think.
Keep talking. I got to look
And
something
I
up.
didn't know
Grace,
that
I actually not. It's heavy on the keys, but it's not a bad album. But they kind of that was the whole
That
thing.
was the one Lyson had a problem with, right?
Yeah.
They
Well,
just weren't-
he had a problem. That was when they shifted. When that Grace Under Pressure.
Yeah.
And then it started, and Lee in his book, he goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, "It was my fault." And,
well, he got caught up in
yeah,
times.
he goes, "I just wanted to do something different." He goes, "We always wanted to push it, but I didn't know I was hurting my best friend who's, wanted it to be more
Oh,
prominent."
yeah. You told us about this.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way that Lee talks about that, because Lifeson was just like, they're still tight.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, all right, I disagree, but I'll do what if you think this is the right thing to do,
Yep.
let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to be a team player.
Yeah.
And,
No egos.
No.
Lee was the prominent writer.
No. Well, Lee and Lifeson wrote the music, and then Pert
Lyrics.
wrote the lyrics. Yeah.
All right, next one. Foghat, Fool for the City.
Oh, Jesus. You want me? I'll just throw out that.
By the way, they had the best gear back then. Merch. They had a white trucker hat and a black lettering. It just said "Fog." Fog hat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just
Fog.
perfect hat.
There's a version of them touring still, But I'm gonna. You want me to start off?
Okay.
All right, 76.
I'll go. Yeah, I'm gonna say 75.
Mark with the
Wow.
Yeah,
the win.
Yeah.
So from 72, they started in 72. From 72 to 83, they had 12 albums, all on the same label. Now,
And I only know
That-
like 2 songs.
that is unheard of, meaning even in the 80s, they would not give you that leash,
Right.
right? You'd 2 albums, you'd not fucking do anything, you're gone. 12 albums
Wow.
from 72 to 83.
Yeah, and they really only had a couple.
Yeah, big hits, radio hits.
hits,
Yeah.
Huh.
So, all right, Mark, you get this one. You guys tie, and there's no winner. The Who, Quadrophenia.
Oh, I don't know. Quadrophenia.
Mm,
Yeah,
Big album, right? What's on that?
I don't know.
I think Tommy's on that.
Yeah. Quadrophenia. 72.
Dennis.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. I'll say 73.
Dennis, 73.
Really?
What year did they start?
Oh.
60s. But they had a different name, right?
No,
No.
Who or the Who. I
Yeah.
think it was, I want to say
No,
like
they had
65?
Mark, do you have a guess when
The
they
Who?
started?
I think they started 64.
65. I didn't know they started that.
Yeah, they were right there with
Yeah.
like the Kinks.
Cream.
Yeah, the Kinks. I mean, that must have been amazing. How'd they survive it? Like the Beatles and Beatlemania.
Yeah.
Yeah. Townsend is, I mean, Daltrey's 80, 81,
Yeah.
They're up there. And they're touring again.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they announced the tour.
The Song Is Over is the name of the tour.
Yeah. Well, they did that in 86, didn't
Yeah,
they?
I know. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah, they had another name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before they got signed.
Huh.
I'm not talking about it here.
we'll let you find that. So, June, we've got. Well, let me do this. Dennis, rate these 3 albums we did tonight. Third being the worst, 1 being the best.
Okay. Let me see. I already forgot what we did. So I would say the worst would go to White Line for me.
Yeah.
The second would be Stryper, and then I guess the best of the
Yeah.
worst would be
The best of the worst. I like it.
Night Ranger.
That would be my list too.
Yeah.
Mark?
White Lions, worst.
Yeah.
Stryper, Night Ranger.
Yeah.
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 All right. So
the order we did them, right?
yeah, it is. So in June we've got Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy. Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. Megadeth, Killing Is My Business.
Oh,
And Business
wow.
Is Good.
That's going to be a fun. Yeah,
gonna be a
that's
good
going
one.
to be interesting. Yeah. The Motley thing is I remember that tour when they
Yeah.
were touring. I think
That's
That was their first headlining tour.
because we were looking at trying to get tickets up at when I think we talked about not far from you, Kingston.
the
Kingston
fairgrounds.
They were good. They went to the
They did.
fairgrounds.
They went there.
Yeah.
I have photos of it. I have like real.
Yeah.
Somebody took photos from the crowd. I don't know how I ended up with them. It's Tommy when his stage goes forward.
Oh
during
wow.
the solo.
Yeah.
I got like 3 or 4 pictures of that.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, there are remnants of like where they played that concert and stuff like that out there. That's an interesting road trip. Like you can dig out and search like where the concerts were and stuff like that. I'm sure if you start pushing leaves around stuff, you probably find some ticket stuff. Well,
This is
maybe
Mick
not
Mars'
ticket stuff.
pick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's an interesting story actually.
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
talked about it
yeah.
before, but
Yeah,
I forget
it
it.
was
Didn't that? Who opened
document-
up? Sister?
Uh
I think it Twisted.
Yeah, Accept was there. Twisted Sister. There was a story about Ozzy was supposed to play there, and I don't think he ever did.
Huh.
But there was some issues with what they were requiring the tour manager and stuff. They just couldn't provide. You know,
Well, it's in the
these
middle
guys
of
were
nowhere.
flying into Boston and then driving out. You know,
Kingston, New Hampshire. That's
yeah.
fucking
But
farmland.
but there was it was an article, and there are obviously still people still living that were part of that town government that were like, no, we didn't want this to happen anymore. It was mayhem.
I wonder like how many concerts there were there.
They did. I want to say
I should ask Billy Tolan because I bet
There were a
he
few.
knows.
Yeah,
how
I
long
want to
it
say
was.
like 3 years. It was brief. It
Yeah.
wasn't much, but that tour, I got it somewhere. I maybe it's on my phone of that lineup with Crew.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember we were supposed to go, and
Oh, you didn't end up going?
no, I didn't end up going at all. No, but I was like, holy crap, Motley Crue down the street.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I don't know why I didn't go to that either. I didn't see them until Girls.
I think Y&T was on the bill. There was like 6 bands.
Yeah, Wine Tea. That's who opened.
Yeah, it was like a festival.
Yeah, Motley headlined, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And for us, that was an opportunity to see, an LA band in Kingston. They must have been like, what the hell?
Where are we going?
Where are you taking it?
Yeah.
What is this? Exit 7. Kingston?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
And back then, I don't even think like outdoor amphitheaters were even happening. So they were probably been playing arenas, and then one day they get off the bus and
You're gonna be in a
fucking
field.
building.
yeah, I don't think they
Yeah.
sprayed
right
for
over there.
mosquitoes.
Go through that cornfield over there.
Can you imagine that?
That would be great to hear people. That would be. Someone should do a little digging and see if those guys that played there remembered playing there and what they thought about it. Like that would be a great
like
article.
a documentary.
A documentary, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a sign. Well, I'm telling you that in that area, I think part of it's private property and stuff like that, so you can't just like.
Yeah.
But they still have like a sign where it was like parking here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like the Deerfield Fair.
It was just
like
a field, right?
Yeah. But there was like a river and there was like parking lots and stuff. It was, but,
Dirt parking
well,
lots.
the problem I recall was that Kingston couldn't get enough law enforcement to like control the area. That was part of the issue. You know what I mean? And then there was a cost factor, as far as security, and then the town was just complaining of the music and people pulling, Massachusetts. Oh, where you headed? Hampton? Nope, Kingston.
Kings what?
You think people that are like driving up from Connecticut to see Motley Crue give two shits about, hey, where's the garbage?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, the cans are going in the woods.
Yep. All right. Well, another one in the books, fellas. Thanks for listening, everyone. And again, please share the podcast and leave a review. It helps us get some more audience. And that's it. Peace.